Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today, Gryfflet is returning. He had a week off last week as I was traveling, but he is back and having now concluded. I was going to say triumphantly, though, of course, the triumphs have been seasoned with challenges and downright failures over the last few weeks, but nevertheless, we did succeed in reclaiming the Red Maid, which was very exciting. You see, Gryfflet is still in his party outfit here. We should probably, hey, Gryfflet, come on, it's time to get back to work. Put on your workaday outfit. All right, there we go. So you can see Gryfflet is standing here in Ostgaruth. I returned back. I decided I'd had enough of red water for a while. So Gryfflet is back, and we got to turn in our quest here in Ostgaruth and get ready to do Epic Quest Book 3. Very exciting. Finally moving on to Book 3 today. We are headed back. I say back. I almost said headed back to the North Downs, as if Gryfflet has ever been to the North Downs, which he hasn't. But anyway, okay, here we are. Let's head into. We gotta return Elsa's pack to Hannah. We triumphantly, climactically, and even heroically complete Book 2 by delivering a backpack from one sister to another. Yeah, there you go.
You startled me.
Yep, she's fine. No, happy to tell you that she's fine. And you're welcome for the backpack. She's fine. All is well. I took care of almost everything, but I've left them to clean up the mess. Oh, yeah, I will take the letter to Friedrich, but I'm glad I could deliver the backpack to you because that's important to me. So off we go, and here's Friedrich with the flaming ring above his head. There he is, Friedrich the Elder, whom we barely stopped to give the time of day to on the way in, but we should probably do so on the way out. Hi, Friedrich the Elder. We've secured Agamar. You know, that phrasing is a little bit funny. Agamar secured. We've secured Agamar, sir. A little military, isn't it? You know, I'd like to think I liberated it, or liberated is a little bit too euphemistic-ish, right? I reclaimed, right? Cleansed? Ooh, cleansed maybe a little bit grandiose. I don't know, but secured seems a little bit... Anyway, crossing the swamp is not easy, Gryfflet. Like, seriously, you thought I was going to get lost in the swamp. So just, like, successfully navigating across the swamp is what you think I accomplished. Have you ever been into that swamp, Friedrich the Elder? Man, talk about damning with faint praise and minimizing the heroic accomplishments of my little hobbit burglar. I will say, shown remarkable courage in crossing the swamp indeed. Anyway, okay. Yes, Elsa confirms as much in her letter to me, but confirmed that I crossed the swamp. Oh, man. She speaks quite highly of me. I'm the bravest little swamp crosser she's ever seen. Okay, good. Yeah, but why don't you send them some supplies? That would be good.
Take a moment of your time.
All right, Book 3. Here we go. You received a message from a man. Well, okay, that's fine, Friedrich. Congratulations, or I don't really know what to say. Oh, perhaps you know of him. He is a ranger by the name of Candaith. Okay, yeah, I know Candaith, and I'm keen to hear how his self-improvement program is coming. Did he finish that correspondence course at all? I wonder. Anyway, the details are vague, but it seems of great importance that you talk to him. All right, okay, fine. I believe it concerns the enemy's movements in the North Downs. Okay. He's staying at a camp north. I know where he is, in the same place where he was before, doubtless. Okay, all right. I will talk to Candaith, no problem. I like talking to Candaith. Here we go. Hi there. Lots of friends today. Okay, so yeah, I had floaty names off, which I like floaty names. Okay, so we're gonna now. Am I remembering correctly that there's a shortcut or a short-ish cut? Like if I talk to my friend Unni, the stable master here.
What do you need?
I can go to Candaith's encampment. All right. Travel for free. Hooray! Okay, but I think I'm going to slowly gallop to Candaith's encampment, which makes this an excellent time to... Oh, no, I'm not. Look at that. I didn't even realize I was getting swift travel to Candaith's encampment. How exciting. Never mind. I was going to say this would be a good time to ask questions. However, since I immediately got back to Candaith, who is apparently not only has he not improved himself, he's not even gotten up since I was last here. But anyway, it would make this a perfect time for you to type in questions to the chat, which will then be conveyed over to me by my marvelous assistant. So if you have any questions, anything you'd like to hear me talk about, especially anything North Downs-ish, or if you have any final questions inspired by the Lone Lands before we leave their bounds for the first time in a long time. Hey, Candaith. Here, I'm gonna sit next to you here by your campfire because that's what we do around here, I guess. So, tell me, what's up, Candaith? I'm ready.
How can I be of service?
Estildine sends word that you are to go there and meet with Halbered. No way. Please hurry, for the orc fires burn hot and strong, and I can't understand a word that they say, and certainly nothing that they write, so don't bring me any more of their writings, even if I ask you to. Sorry. For the orc fires burn hot and strong, and each moment we waste is another opportunity for the enemy. Okay. Talk to Halbered. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so we get another wonderful Lord of the Rings character. Well, another Lord of the Rings character anyway, about whom we learn almost nothing. That is, we barely, oh, Halbered, we barely knew ye, right? But any time we get a character who plays an important role, even though we don't really get to know him all that well, it's really fun, and it's one of my favorite moments in Lotro when we get to interact with, especially when we get to learn to get to know, when we get a chance to get to know better a character that we barely get to know before his untimely death. Spoilers in the Lord of the Rings. So anyway, okay, thanks, Candaith. Keep up the good work here. You can, yeah. Good luck on sorting out how to speak in the how to do the black speech. I'm gonna talk to your horse. No, I'm not. I'm gonna talk to you. Can I get a ride? Would that be all right? Ooh, straight to Estildine. Nah, I want to go the long way around because I got other things to do. I'm going to go see Halbered and stuff, but, I'm keen to get there the comparatively slow way. So we're back to the Forsaken Inn. We haven't been to the Forsaken Inn in like a month. But hey there, Forsaken Inn. Still looking pretty much as forsaken as before. Hey, Pip Wortley. I would need a ride to South Bree, if I can, because we're going to go through the Bree lands. All right. So back to South Bree, and this, I believe, is going to be slow travel. So had you taken advantage of the opportunity to post a question while my horse is meandering across and into the Bree land, would have been an excellent time for me to answer your question. So just think of the lost opportunity of me not answering your question right now. But anyhow, so notice how I love how the transition from the Lone Lands to the Bree lands is marked by the color, right? All of a sudden we're in this lush green again. It's like, wow, the Lone Lands are so brown, and we've been in the brown, not the brown lands. That's a different set of lands. But the Lone Lands are almost as deserted. And that's... I find it really interesting how they manage the sort of the color palette change to really indicate you're in a new place. There are two reasons why I want to go back through Bree today. One is that I haven't seen the walls of Bree in a long time, and I wanted to make sure there haven't been any any architectural developments. Since I'm joking about that, but the main reason I really want to go to Bree is that I got, when I turned level 30, I got another burglar quest, a class-related quest, and so I want to go back and check out and see what my burglar quest is. So that seems like it's only my, sort of the least of my duties to do that. So let's see. Oh, hang on. I wanted to turn the other way. Yeah, so there's the Midgewater Marshes that we're passing by. Okay, yeah, we didn't spend too much time in the marshes. Okay, so we're heading back into Bree. So I'm going to find out what happened in the Bree with the burglar quest. I've received the summons from what's her name? Albra Lowbanks. Yeah, so I have to find where the thief place is. Excuse me, did I say thief? I meant burglar place is, because so I got to find out what that quest is. Then I want to ride north. But see, I don't want to just. I wouldn't want to jump to Esteldine anyway. I want to. I want to ride up the Greenway because that's so cool. There's the idea of the old crossroads that Bree forms, right, with the East Road and the Greenway coming up, north and south. We hear about people coming up the Greenway, and there's never in the book more than sort of glances given up to the north, right? Like, it's known that up in the north is Lake Evendim and Dead Men's Dyke, as Barlowman calls it, as, Barlowman Butterbur. He and I are on first name basis, old Barley. He calls it Dead Men's Dyke. Fornost, as Strider gives it its proper name. So anyway, hey, lots of people, several of whom are AFK. So, okay, I'm going to go and attempt to find the burglar's place so that we can head up. But anyway, so the idea, again, we get no more than glimpses, and not even glimpses, but just like we get glimpses of people who are glancing north. And that's really all that we get. Let's see, where am I going? That's where I'm going. Okay, fine. Finding my little spot on the map. Can I get there this way? No, I can't. Oh yeah, this is that cool old Arnorian wall that I found in here. Yeah, this was clearly a central part of the... Never mind. Not gonna get distracted. Not gonna get... Oh, that's a haystack. I thought it was a rock. Haystacks are of a good deal less archaeological interest. Okay, sorry. This is the intersection at which I wanted to take a left. So anyway, looking forward to riding north up the Greenway. Okay, right past the row of horses. Yep, all right. We take a left, past the way that you can go over this. So right, that's the way. You can go up over the top walkway. Didn't discover that for a really long time. And here we are in the stone quarter, the low bank. Yeah, there it is. Okay, hang on. Dismount. All right. There we are. Let's see what Albra Lowbanks has for us here. Burglar trainer. Hi there. Another matter of importance. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. I'm so glad I'll find it interesting. What is it? Okay. She's a message for me. A secret message. The message is Palma Brownlock waits for you in the Forsaken Inn. It's kind of an embarrassing secret message. And you won't tell me where you heard it. Okay. I was just at the Forsaken Inn, for crying out loud. I get the title Trickster if I show up, huh? I guess I could go back to the Forsaken Inn. I won't want to go back later. Not going to make it up, though. I'm not going to pretend, Albra. That is a little vexing. I was just there. So as I was saying before, now would be the perfect opportunity to ask a question. If you had a question, anything at all, that would be good. Because I'm going to retrace my steps all the way back to the Forsaken Inn in order to find Palma Brownlock in what sounds shockingly like a secret assignation that Gryfflet has formed. I don't know what you must think of me, that I'm getting secret messages delivered to the burglar trainer from strange women at the Forsaken Inn telling me to meet them there. I assure you this is not nearly as sketchy as it looks. And here I am getting lost in the middle of the Woodsman's Gate indeed. There we go.
How can I be of service?
You could be of service by offering me swift travel to the Forsaken Inn, but I know you won't. That's okay. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I know it sounds sketchy. I promise you we're just friends, or we're not even friends yet. I don't know who she is. I promise. I've never met this woman before. But we'll see. I was told that I would find it interesting, so let's hope that that's true, because I'm going to then have to come back to Bree and then set out to the north. So little side trip to do our burglarious thing. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, while I am slow traveling across back to the Forsaken Inn, and since no questions have as yet come in, let me then do an announcement segment. Some of you I know, many of you were able to make the special stream session that I did just earlier this week on Tuesday night, where we did the first of our 2 Where's Wiggend installments, where I took my main character, my guardian, Wiggend, and we explored around various places. I sort of popped around. We went to Innuminus, to Forakel, we started at Bag End, and we ended up in Moria, several places. Sort of looking at several different kinds of adaptation that Lotro does, and thinking about the way they did Innuminus, thinking about the stuff that they did in Forakel. It was really fun. That special episode was associated with our fundraiser, which we have going on for this whole month. That, of course, is still ongoing. One of the fun things that we announced that we will do a special event if we raise a certain amount of money for our fundraiser. So we had a $2,000 goal, which we met. We raised almost $3,000, actually, over $2,900 on Tuesday night, which was awesome. You guys are really generous. And but the goal is, if we can make it to $5,000 raised, and so you just have to mention Lotro in your donation to Signum University, then we're going to do a special event where I do one of the chicken session play games, and we have a community project with you guys have to take me as a chicken. Well, for $2,000, we're going to go to Rivendell, so that's already guaranteed. We'll definitely do take me to Rivendell. If we raise $5,000, so if we raise $2,000 more between now and the end of the month, dedicated to the Lotro project, then you guys will take me all the way to Helm's Deep. And I'm not going. I've heard, with these chicken games, that some people just put the chickens on follow and all go in a line and stuff, and I'm not into that. I'm going to steer the chicken myself. So I'm going to steer the chicken, and people have to help to protect me and to guide me to make sure I don't run into any sort of chicken problems on the way. And we'll live stream the chicken event, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I encourage you to go where you can find more information about that. Go to mythgard.org and click on the annual fund box, which you'll find in the upper right hand corner. That'll take you to our annual fund page, and you'll be able to see the sort of the chicken running sort of measurement graph, which will show you how far we are towards our chicken goal. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure to tell you guys about that. Let's see. So, hey, Gadarick Months, have you seen any totally respectable looking women that I'm supposed to meet here? Palma, where are you, Palma? At the Forsaken Inn. Yeah, you're not in a back room, are you? Because that looks even sketchier. Where are you? Were you outside? Did I miss you? Were you just like outside and I walked right past you? Assuming you were waiting for me in the bar? Maybe that's... Yes, I think so. Look at that. You're standing right outside, and I was like assuming you were not. Where are you? No? What am I missing? Are you stealthed or something because you're like totally burglarious? Are you like my burglarious soulmate, Palma Brownlock? Where the heck are you? Did I miss something? Okay, yeah. Waiting for me at the Forsaken Inn. Yeah, okay. And I noticed that my little thing is flashing now. So, I have to admit, I didn't expect this quest to be hard. I see vagabonds. I see this runekeeper lady. I see a cat. I see Belinda Rosewater, the nice task lady. Where is Palma Brownlock? Yeah, I don't really see you. I think you must be inside. Let me look again. No, like I said, this sounded like a pretty standard thing, you know, a pretty standard meet in the bar kind of thing. Yeah, no. Is she downstairs? Let me go down to the basement in case she is, you know, if she's a burglar, she might be hanging out down in the basement. Let's see. Oh, I've got a chaperone. That's nice. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so here she is. She is hanging out in the basement. Oh, wait. Hey, don't go away. Yeah, don't leave me alone because then everyone's going to think this is really shady, right? Hey, Miss Non-Shady Palma Brownlock, with whom I brought a chaperone, so we're fine. Yeah, I'm Gryfflet. Okay. Yeah, I helped him out about mushrooms. Don't tell Farmer Maggot about the mushrooms. Okay. It's just, look, he's trying to... So you found me in order to beg mushrooms. Okay. But it's more important than mushrooms. Wow. Okay. Some half-orcs have stolen a legendary sword, Methrod. Okay. And the people around here are pretty upset about it. Well, I guess I can understand that. You don't know what's so important about it, but there's an old hero who once kept the roads safe. Okay. We're going to sneak into Nyrost. Right? Yeah, I remember the ruins. Nyrost, yeah. I'm going to grab the sword. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's go. But our chaperone is probably not going to come with us. That's okay. You know, the half-orcs will keep us company. So, all right, I think we've established that we're totally...
legendary sword once wielded by a great hero.
Once wielded by a great hero.
The East Road clear of threats.
Yeah.
Has been stolen by the half-orcs
the
of
voiceover
Narrost,
guy is telling me the same
Palma
thing.
Brownlock, a hobbit burglar of no small reputation, to gather allies to recover it.
Okay, so the voiceover guy just called Palma Brownlock, quote, a hobbit burglar of no small reputation. That's not a double entendre, I hope, right? What kind of reputation do you have exactly, Palma Brownlock? But that's okay. You already met me. Why are you introducing yourself to me again? And why are we talking about salt? Let's go. Figure I could use the practice. Okay, so I'm just... Right, just get the sword. Okay, fine. I'll get the sword. All right, down we go. We're going to go into Nyrost over here. I'm going to stealth myself. Hang on. I finally wised up, by the way, and put my cosmetic outfits tied to keystrokes. So I can now do that very easily. Got to get my ninja outfit on. Okay. All right. We're looking. We're looking. We're going the wrong way. No, we're okay. All right. We're sneaking into Nyrost. Have not yet been spotted by any ruffians, even of any kind. Okay. Anything here? No. A ruffian over here, a bruiser over there. Okay, let's see. We're going to have to go up and around to the left. Guess we could have gone around the other way, but that's okay. We'll go this way, because I don't know where in the ruins it is. Alright. Sneaking, do I need to go up where the lookout is? Okay, gonna sneak around this way. Oh, can I get through this way? Think I can? No. Oh, sorry. Here I'm sneaking up into dead ends. Oh, man. Now I'm trapped. Oh, dear. This is awful. Okay. Okay. I thought I could get through that way. Well, there's a set of stairs. What? I'm blocked off from... Okay, now there we go. All right. Here we go. Hard to navigate when you're invisible. Okay. See, yeah, we've got the... This was a Rudauran fortress. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? This is pretty westerly for a Rudauran fortress. I mean, Oscar Ruth makes a little bit more sense. Because up here, you know, Rudaur was... Rudaur was like up this part, up here. And so remember, we talked about this before, that Weathertop was the center part of the centerpiece of the confrontation, you know, among the three kingdoms. So I'm surprised to find a Rudauran fortress this close to Weathertop. But anyway, that's totally not why I'm here. I'm looking for a sword. Has anybody seen a magic sword? Did you steal one? Because if so, I'm fixing to steal it back from you. Okay. All right. Time to be sneaky. Don't tell them I'm here. Who's got a sword? Anybody got the magic sword? No, not over here. Doesn't look like it. We don't have to go to the big boss around the corner upstairs, do we? Well, maybe we do. So I just noticed that over here on my box over here is the text from the waitress who said, "I wonder what happened to that weird guy I saw go down to the basement." She's not talking about me, is she? Right? I'm telling you, boy, this is going to get around, you know, that I was having secret assignations with female hobbit burglars of no small reputation in the shady basements of bars, and I'm telling you. All right, up we go. Yeah, this is much easier as a burglar, I have to say. I've gotten way more opportunities to get lost far more times on the way up here. I've actually never come up. I always usually come in the other door, back around the corner from here. All right. Where's the sword? High sentry. Is the sword around in here? Where the boss guy is in the... Aha! Ha! Except the boss guy's not here. Is he going to materialize? Methrod. There it is. That's it? No one's going to, like, appear? No? Okay. You don't have to. Nobody wants to materialize and take the sword from me? That's okay. Do I get extra special bonus points if I... Oh, I can't jump up this way, can't I? That's so annoying. Yeah, do I get extra special bonus points if I get in and out without fighting anybody? Like, you know, burglarious bragging rights or something? All right. Can I sneak past this guy? Yes, I can. Can I jump down over this? Oh, yes, I can. Haha. Oh, but interesting. So I went out of stealth mode when I activated, what's it called? Safe fall. Okay. I didn't realize that would happen. Live and learn. All right. I will still have escaped without combat if I get away. He stops chasing me. Isn't she up here? My friend of no small reputation. There she is. Yeah, I thought so. Oh, man. Did you just throw something at me? Oh, so look, not only do I have to end up fighting one guy, but I have to do it right in front of her. That's so embarrassing. I promise, he's the only guy who saw me, and he saw me because I chose to reveal myself in order to jump off the cliff. I could have come around the long way, but I really didn't want to do that because I didn't want to keep you waiting. But nobody else saw me, Palma, I promise.
Hello?
That's it, huh? That's really pretty simple. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the inn and give the sword to whom? The innkeeper? Gaderick months?
Just a moment.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. You'll return. Oh, I get. What do I get? The ghost walker's cloak, huh? Yeah. That's fine. Okay. A burglar's errand. That's it. Bye, Palma Brownlock. It was excellent meeting you and hanging out with you and having a perfectly platonic relationship with you, Palma Brownlock. Thank you so much, and I'm Farm Boy again. Okay. And please don't call me a strange man going down into the basement again, waitress. So I wonder who the legendary person who used to protect this road was. I mean, is it a ranger? Maybe. That's a little... I wish we could have gotten a little bit more backstory there. I was kind of hoping I'd have to, like, deliver the sword to somebody like Gaderick Munz, who would be all like, let me give you some exposition of the backstory of this sword. But I didn't get anything.
Greetings.
Okay, this time the waitress says, no, but you thought I did, didn't you? How mysterious... Boy, people are sketchy at the Forsaken Inn. I am so out of here. Okay, I don't want to know, waitress. I don't even want to know what you're talking about. All right, now, in the meantime, I did get another question. So let's see. Nicomachus Flavius. What an excellent name. Nicomachus Flavius asks if I could talk about a common criticism leveled at Tolkien, which is that his stories deal with a simplified good and evil dynamic. Excellent. Yes, I certainly would be happy to talk about that. People have been saying that about Tolkien since the very first reviewers of The Lord of the Rings. The primary thing that I think about that is I don't understand how anyone who has actually read Tolkien can even make that criticism. Okay. No. There's only one thing, I think, which justifies... No, because it doesn't justify that criticism. There's only one thing which could even inspire that question, and that is the depiction of the orcs. In the orcs, we do see an unambiguous evil. It's, unmitigated. I was trying to say both words at once. Unmitigated, unambiguous evil in the orcs. They seem to have no positive motivations. We don't get any glimpse of what they were before they turn. Even with Gollum becomes... sort of crosses the line where he ceases to be redeemable by the end. But at least we saw him before he was wholly ruined, to use Gandalf's phrase. With the orcs, we never see that. The orcs are simply evil. But they're an exception, and a pretty big exception. As we've already talked about in this stream before, there's really nobody who is pure good. Hobbits are often associated with, like, innocence and goodness, but hobbits are not innocent. That's not Tolkien's hobbits. They're venial, is the word that I've used before to describe them. They're like Lobelia stealing the silver spoons, for crying out loud, right? I mean, this is not high crime and misdemeanors. Well, misdemeanor, but not high crimes. Think about all the people who went to Bilbo's party and who went in through the front gate and then sneaked out through the back door and came in by the gate again so as to cadge a second present, right? Think about all the people who show up with wheelbarrows at Bag End on the next morning because they hear rumors that you can go in and claim stuff. Think about the cousin, Sancho Proudfoot, whom Frodo has to evict from the basement, who is making an excavation to try to find gold, right? These are not good ways to behave. These are not innocent people. This is not, any kind of, like, angelic goodness embodied in slightly diminutive human form. We don't get anything like that in Tolkien. It's simply not the way that that Tolkien's characters behave. What's more is that, in addition to the fact that apart from the orcs, we don't get any pure good and pure evil characters. What we do see, people say like, oh, there's no ambiguity in Tolkien. Baloney, there's no ambiguity in Tolkien. Tolkien does a better job than almost any author I know of depicting how a good person with good intentions ends up walking down a path that leads them to do evil things and to become something that that most people would identify as evil. Nothing was evil in the beginning. Even Sauron was not so, Elrond says. And, and I'm thinking, the examples that we see in Saruman, the even more poignant example that we see in Denethor, and even more so in Boromir, we see people who have good motivations, who are attempting to accomplish good things, but who are falling into evil and folly and end up doing really bad stuff. And Tolkien does a great job of showing, it's not a question like, people will say, oh, in Tolkien there are no shades of gray. It's ridiculous that there are no shades of gray in Tolkien. There are, but even more than just, it's not just about depicting people who are morally ambiguous. Again, everybody is morally ambiguous except for the orcs in Tolkien. But it's not just that. He shows moral progress. When you look at the stature, the way that his characters change over time, the way they learn and develop, he has a much more nuanced sense of good and evil and sort of moral progression than many authors that I see. I mean, people, Nicomacheus Flavius was pointing to one of that how George R.R. Martin is often celebrated for the sort of constant ambiguities, he says, which dominates much of his work. I actually find George R.R. Martin's characters much more flat than Tolkien's characters. I like his characters. Martin is a great writer, and his books are very compelling. Here we are riding north on the Greenway, by the way, as we talk about this. But I actually do not find his books more full of moral ambiguity. What I see them doing is doing a great deal more reveling in bad motivations. That is, we spend a lot more time with characters who really dwell on and who kind of compel me as a reader to dwell on, like the desire to rape young girls, for instance. It's one of the reasons that I personally find reading George R.R. Martin's books unpleasant. Again, it's not that I don't admire them. It's not that I don't like them. That's not even what I would say. I find the experience of reading them very difficult and very unpleasant because the position in which I'm placed, because I find his stories so compelling and because I find his characters so interesting, it's difficult for me not to sort of connect myself with their experience, and the experience that he depicts so compellingly is one which I generally find quite repugnant. Tolkien doesn't do that. It's true. Tolkien doesn't bring us into contact with evil desires in that same way. But I do not believe that, but that doesn't make Tolkien less aware, less conscious of evil. He just brings us into contact with it in a different way. And this is why I find Tolkien's works this is why when I am feeling sort of stressed or, dirtied by life or by reading George R.R. Martin, I go back to Tolkien, and I find them restful and cleansing, not because there is no evil there, not because it's some kind of, la la land which is not in contact with the dark side of the world, but rather because it has and encourages what I certainly consider a very much more wholesome relationship with it. I don't want anything to do with most of George R.R. Martin's characters. At the end of the day, although I admire them and I admire his storytelling very much, I find the vast majority of his characters personally loathsome, and I feel unclean when I spend too much time with them. Anyway, so not to mince words or anything about my experience reading George R.R. Martin, but again, I'd see this is the misunderstanding that I think a lot of people make. They misunderstand the sort of the particular way in which Martin foregrounds acts of evil and evil motivations, and the way that Tolkien foregrounds that, and the kind of relationship, the kind of distance, really, that readers have from them. It's one of the effects, I think, of the overall narrative frame that Tolkien introduces. in his books that Martin doesn't really introduce. We don't have that sense of history. We have the history of the world, but we don't have the sense of the history of the text, of the history of the story itself. It is clear when we're reading The Lord of the Rings, if you pay attention, it is clear that we're reading like an ancient story, right? That's been passed down and translated, and the process of how that happens. Whoa, sorry, a little lag there. Is brought into the story as we go along. We don't really get that in George R.R. Martin. It's a more modern approach to narrative storytelling, which just makes the whole thing more immediate. We're there, experiencing it right with the characters, and under the circumstances, that's one of the things that I find pretty awkward about it. All right, here we are in the North Downs. So we've just galloped our way all the way up the Greenway, and this is really exciting. So now we are coming to the North Downs, and we are coming to the town of Trestlebridge. The first thing that you will notice is that this is a modern town. Look at this. No stonework. We do not find Arnorian stonework across this little gap here, right? It makes me wonder, surely there must have been a town or something here, right? So Gryfflet is definitely going to have to look for some evidence of Arnor, because there's no way that a strong point like this, especially near the trestle span, which we're going to see, that bridge is of obvious, I say obvious, but I think it's pretty obvious, strategic significance. The houses are in the style of the Bree-lands, right? That sort of older English, like Tudor style, right? We've got this gatehouse made of stone, but again, it's a clearly modern construction, much more in keeping, much more of a piece with the wooden constructions around it, like we've got the shingling and stuff there on the top, and this, this sort of wooden gatehouse. Look how thin this is too. I mean, like it's okay, but it's not a heavily fortified position. So we have a gate, and there aren't even. You notice what this gate is missing, for instance? That's right, gates. Yeah, there's no gates whatsoever. No portcullis, right? No portcullis, nothing up there. No portcullis whatsoever. So we've got no gates, no portcullis. This is not really designed for defense at all, and you can tell on account of how it's made out of wood. Another thing, which is, unless it's just like a simple palisade, usually not a good long-term idea. But anyway, so let's continue to look around. What a lovely little town. Hang on. I see a stable master. I got to go introduce myself to the stable master. Always say hi to stable masters when you're in the neighborhood. It's just always a good idea. Okay, Mr. Stable Master. Nice little town you guys have here. Hang on. Excuse me. That house is on fire? Yeah, right over there. Did you notice that? Hey, what's wrong with you? You got a cramp or something? Let's see. Speak to me. No, you won't speak to me? You're massaging your calf? Okay. Right? You seem to have a leg injury of some kind. Right? Might be let's hope it's not the unhappy triad. Yeah. Okay. Well, just, try to stretch it out. See if you can put any weight on it. Maybe ice it up. Smoking ruins. Okay, so there's more over here. Oh dear, something terrible has happened, and there's a wagon just upside down. Oh man, wagons upside down, houses in flames, Trestlebridge. Hey, there's a gate over there. Do you see that gate? What are they? So they defend against people from the west. What's to the west? Oops, I'm blocking the whole thing. Nothing is to the west. Why are we more paranoid about what's happening over there? Anyway, whatever. Okay, so we have the shells of burned out buildings. Captain Trotter. No way, Captain Trotter. That is awesome. Remind me to tell you about Captain Trotter. What a fantastic name. It's just like bingo. Oh man, you're going to lock up every last guard? Yeah, that'll solve the problem. What was the catastrophe? Okay, I was just looking at your town and I couldn't help but notice the burning, smoldering husks where certain houses used to be. Yeah, Aggie Digweed was the only one who kept her mind during this attack. Well, naturally she did. If not for her, we would all be dead. Good old Aggie. Nobody even remembers what happened. Just Aggie running to and fro trying to rouse everyone. So all the guards were, what, asleep? None of the guards warned good old Captain Trotter? You'll see Talbot Hinton hanged for letting this happen. Oh, dear. All right, let's talk to Aggie Digweed. Captain Trotter. Aggie Digweed. I like it. So you can see how the two halves of her name go together. It's probably Agatha, right? But Aggie, of course, sounds like agriculture, like and then Digweed, right? To dig up the weeds, right? So she's like this whole agricultural joke there in her name. I like that. Hey, are you hi Marla. So apparently I was supposed to talk. Trestlebridge could use a hero. I am that hero. Okay. You don't know if Trestlebridge will ever recover? Well, we'll see. So I'll die before any orc drives me off? That's right. You put up a good fight. Oh, dear, look. The orcs are up to some devilry. Are they? Hey, it's Talbot Hinton. He's in the pillory. Oh, man, that looks uncomfortable, dude. You could think that at least could elevate that a little bit so you don't have to... That looks like a terrible posture for your back. Seriously, you're going to have to see a chiropractor after that. They just raise that up like another foot or so, you'd be much happier. Guardsman, oddly, you should really consider an altitude adjustment. Was like a hobbit last put in the pillory over there? That's really mean. Anyway, okay. Meanwhile, where's Aggie? There's Aggie. Aggie Digweed. Look how ready she is. She is poised. Are they coming? They coming, Aggie? Coming over the bridge? Here, Aggie, hang on. Hold that thought, Aggie. We have some interesting stonework here. Okay, so now that's a statue the like of which we haven't seen before. It's an armored statue. Okay, so it's not like the ye old Witch King statue that we were seeing a bunch of other places. Nor is it like ye old dead Arnorian King statue. No. This is like vague knight in armor. I gotta say, that doesn't really look like Arnorian architecture. Besides which, is that sword like seriously foreshortened, or did this knight just carry a really, really broad dagger? That's really not very skillful. So, man, every Arnorian statue I've seen, they like silos here in Trestlebridge, I guess. But anyway, sorry. I probably should endeavor not to fall into the abyss, but I'm trying to figure this out. So we've got the bridge. Can I go through here? Ooh, I can! Wow, I'm under the bridge. I'm like a troll. I'm like a troll waiting for the billy goat's gruff. This is so cool. I never came under here before. What's that? Is that a sunlight? Is there a skylight through the bridge? No? I thought I saw... There it is. No, it's just a rock. Strange rock. Is there anything carved on it? No? Gryfflet was here. Okay. So I'm under the bridge. But here's my question. So where did this bridge come from? Or more accurately, is this an Arnorian bridge? The stonework would suggest it. And you notice how it shifts to wood, right? So you've got the stone abutment here and here. And then you've got this wooden bridge span down here, just kind of attached to the... And let's see if the trestle span... There's a dude down here. I've never seen this guy before. Okay. Is this a ruin, or is it meant to be this way? Right? That's my question. So my question is this wood-stone combination by design? Ooh, that looks like it's by design. Or is it broken off? No, it is. It is uneven, isn't it? So excuse me, supervisor. I don't suppose you could tell me about this, can you? No? So what do we think? Do we think that's broken off? That looks like it is broken off. Yeah, I think so. It's not bad. It's not designed that way. Okay. All right. So this is clear evidence, therefore, that there was once a stone bridge built across. Yeah. See, look at that. That's pretty clear. You can see on the other side the ragged edge there. Okay, so this used to be a really big and very impressive stone bridge. And then the stone bridge apparently fell, and so we have since constructed this this wooden New Hampshire covered bridge effect, right? I live in New Hampshire. We're totally into covered bridges here. You drive around in northern New Hampshire and there'll be signs like covered bridge this way for all the tourists and the leaf peepers who come up, which it's leaf peeper season. In fact, we're now entering that most deadly of all traffic seasons, traffic conjunctions in New Hampshire. The combination of the turning of the fall foliage with the arrival of the presidential candidates. Oh my goodness. Hillary Clinton was just half a mile down the road from me the other day, and I'm like, I can't wait till it's over. Anyway, so okay, so there's the look at the waterfalls. This is an impressive gorge, and it used to be an impressive bridge. So the fact that we have the ruins of an old, very impressive stone bridge combined with a much more modern, and you can see the architectural style of the Trestlebridge, the trestle span here of the wooden bridge, is not at all like a New England covered bridge. Instead, it is like the Trestlebridge town. So this is obviously modern, probably dates about the same time as the town. Whom do you supervise down here? You're like all by yourself. Who are you faking down here? Like, is there somebody else you report back to and you're like, well, I'm done supervising? Like what? Are you supervising the river? Are you supervising somebody on the far bank? You're not in cahoots with the orcs, are you? Didn't let the orcs into the town, did you? I'm going to tell Captain Trotter on you, and before you know it, you're going to end up in a pillory which is set 1.5 feet too low. If you're not careful, Mr. Supervisor, you better find a real person to supervise here pretty soon. So that would suggest that this is in fact Arnorian, but I have to say, those are the least impressive Arnorian statues I have ever seen. Not only are they rather badly done, I mean, again, like that whole sword thing, that's pitiful. Really pitiful. The detail is poor, and also the scale. Look at the scale. I mean, I'm a hobbit here, and I would come up to this statue's knees, right? We've already seen in the Lone Lands that they went in for, and not like the tomb ones, but they went in for pretty big statues in Arnor, right? I mean, the big-nosed king of Arnor was impressive. This guy is not impressive really in almost any sense. Maybe it's an earlier phase of Arnorian architecture, because you got to think, I mean, it's like a necessity that this bridge has to be Arnorian, right? Because this is the Greenway. We're still on the Greenway. It comes right through town and heads up to Fornos. So until we get to Fornos, we're not done with the Greenway. That was the road of the men of Arnor, and it had to cross over this gorge, so it had to cross over here, and so this must be their bridge, or this used to be their bridge before it fell apart. And then we just built this nice one. It's got windows. How quaint. Hey, peek your head through the window. Look down into the gorge hundreds of feet below you. Pretend like you're going to push your sibling out through the crack, right? Oh, boy, the potential. It's just... And park your wagons in the middle of the bridge. That seems like less of a good idea. But anyway, I'm talking to Aggie Digweed. I should probably not utterly neglect Aggie Digweed, because she's still being... Look at that. We must be vigilant. Look at how vigilant you are, Aggie Digweed. Nobody's getting past you. Look at that. Just eyes in the distance there, not even looking at me. All right, Aggie. So tell me about it, Aggie. What happened? He's preoccupied with punishing those who slept through the attack, but I am much more concerned about what may happen if we let down our guard again. I, too, would be concerned. You haven't slept in 2 days. You know, you look great, Aggie. You really do. You won't abandon your post. Of course I will help you. How can I not help
I
somebody
don't
who
know
is
if
so
you can help me.
vigilant? Okay. Yeah, I already established I would like to help. Okay, search the town and figure out how this could have happened. What? Okay, there was an explosion? Seriously, it was like a high-budget explosion in the middle of town? Why did no one wake? Wait, nobody woke up when the explosion happened? I thought you said, how do you know there was an explosion if nobody woke up? I never heard a thing like it in all my life. So you were... I think maybe why did nobody wake up before the explosion? Hang on, Aggie, I am so confused. Vigilant you are, but articulate you are not. But you haven't slept in 2 days. I totally get it. I'm pretty inarticulate when I haven't slept for 2 days either. So let's look for the cause of the explosion. A great boom in the night. Okay. All right. We'll do some investigation here. Oh, wait, hang on. There's something. There's a black powder. It may be soot because there seems to be a lot of that up here. Excuse me, pardon me. I'm just going to come around through the smoldering ruins of this house. There's some black powder, which may or may not be soot, but soot is hardly... An exploded barrel amidst the rubble. Oh, so this is like I'm doing like forensics. We can trace the origin of the fire to this corner of the house in which a barrel full of some sort of black substance was found. Okay. Oh, and here's more. Hang on. I'm doing my investigation, right? So this is CSI North Downs, right? Here we are, okay. More black powder. We found a residue of some substance. We're going to take it back to the lab and investigate it. Okay, more fine black powder. Okay. Let's see. I found 2 of 3 things to be found, both of which were black powder. Okay, so where's the other thing? Who's over here? Somebody has a quest for me over here? Oh, the novice jeweler has a quest for me? I think you're good. Okay. All right. I'm hunting, continuing to search. Apparently I didn't search that last... Oh, here we go. More black powder. I should have known. Okay, yeah. All right, another exploded barrel. So I think we have barrels full of some kind of explosive black powder. That's what seems to be the situation. Okay, Aggie Digweed had me. I've taken it to the lab for analysis.
Greetings.
Incendiary powder. Well, that's a pretty fancy vocabulary you've got there, Captain Trotter. Who would do such a thing? I know, right? Like, who would be... Yeah, I don't like flaming powder either. I mean, not in my house. I want to know how it came here. Right. But more than that, I want to ensure that it never comes here again. What? See, now you just sound like you're prejudiced against this powder. All right, I'll speak with Aggie. This black fire stuff. Vocabulary degenerating, Captain Trotter. Back to incendiary. Let's stick with incendiary, shall we? Okay. All right, Captain Trotter. Well, I'll talk with her about the black fire stuff. Yes, I will. Can I talk to... Hi, Marla. Did you see... No, you didn't. You've been in it all your life, and you didn't hear anything last night. Okay, fine. Hey, Talbot Hinton, Mr. Uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm listening. I'm right here. In fact, your head is pretty much at my level, which is sad. Okay, you were on guard, but you didn't fall asleep. Okay. Okay, well, you did. All right, so you did fall asleep, but you can't remember anything about it. What, like you fell asleep and then you don't remember anything afterwards? It's almost like I was drugged. Almost like you were drugged. Okay. You remember waking up to Aggie shaking. So Aggie was shaking you and fires were roaring all around you? Yeah, I would think that might have waken you up all on its own. You slept through the thunderous blasts. Ah, okay. But Captain Trotter will ironically hear none of it. Okay. All right, so you think you were drugged. We'll have to get to the bottom of this. This is a... Okay, Aggie, can you help me with this mystery? Yeah. What do you think, Aggie? Oh, this is an interesting theory. Okay, all right. Hang on a second here. Aggie, hold that thought for a second. Okay, so on the disappointingly stumpy swords of the probably Arnorian statues here, Arathart suggests maybe the short swords on the... Is it Arathart? Arathart? How do you... I'm not quite sure how you pronounce your name. But anyway, Arathart... I mean, I realize, of course, I've known you for a long time, but I only now realize as I am attempting to pronounce your name live on the stream that I'm not really 100% sure how it's pronounced. Okay, maybe the short swords on the statues are an early depiction of the sword that was broken. That's an interesting theory. Okay, could this be, in fact, an homage to the Sword of Elendil? Let's see. I'm skeptical. Yeah, no. Now, see, look, it's got a point. It's pointy, right? If it were pointy, I mean, the Sword of Elendil wouldn't be pointy in that way. It'd be all jagged or something, right? Or cut off. It wouldn't have a point at the end. No, that's clearly a deliberate weapon. It's like a two-handed broad knife, which is just about as impractical as a weapon can get. So their verisimilitude is poor. The figures are questionable. Look, it's got a pointy head, too. It's an alien cone head statue. Maybe that's the explanation. So the bridge itself is Arnorian, but the statues were made later on by comparatively incompetent sculptors, local sculptors of Trestlebridge in after ages, or by alien coneheads who had only the vaguest idea what a sword was supposed to look like. I think we are getting closer and closer to the true answer. Okay, Aggie?
You startled me.
I startled you? You're supposed to be constantly vigilant. She's like, I haven't slept in 2 days, and I shall never cease watching. And then you talk to her, and she's like, oh, you startled me. That's really ironic. Okay, Captain Trotter's right to be afraid of this black fire. I thought we were going with incendiary. Did you not get the memo? It must be the orcs that have been cropping up near here of late. Yeah, so here's Captain Trotter like, who would want to do this? I can't even imagine. Maybe it's the orcs over there. It's possible. To the northeast near the pass of Nanwethrin, surely they have wrought some fell magic. It's possible. And are using it to bring down our town and choke off the Greenway. Oh dear. We cannot let them, Gryfflet. They failed to destroy us once, so we must assume that they will try again. You cannot let them. Okay, when did this become... I mean, said I would help, but... Oh, you have to stay vigilant, right? Find signs for more black fire. Okay, I guess we dropped incendiary. We're going with black fire. Fine, I'll roll with it. Kind of like incendiary better, but that's all right. Off we go to find evidence of black fire boom stuff and of anything that looks like any illegal narcotics that orcs may or may not have been smuggling into the vicinity in order. Another silo. You don't see any orcs, do you? I mean, okay, maybe it's not a silo. It's probably a guard tower, but it looks like a silo. I mean, I see this and it says silo to me. Okay, admittedly, it's got bigger windows than silos normally have, but I think it's the shingles on top that just make it look not really guard tower-ish and more silo to me. But anyhow, okay, let's go and find evidence of black fire boom powder. Wait, I can't even see. What is the quest that's available to me here? Kill orcs. Okay, reckon I was going to do that anyway. Okay. Here we go. Oh, good. I thought they would all be grayed out to me because I'm now over level, having come from being tragically under level at the Red Maid. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? That's how you want to play, is it? Wandering Cruel Beak? Okay, yeah. Nah. I'm good. All right. Okay. Well, that solves the problem. Oh, yeah. You got nothing. Okay? You should have seen the shambling whites that I've been in, like, gloom waters and all manner of... Okay. Hey, oh, there's a cauldron. What color is the... It's the gray cauldron. And what do you mix in your vile cauldron, orc folk? Orcish sleeping... No way. Oh, it was a frame up. Oh, the poor guard has been framed. What's here? It was a black fire crate. It's a black boomy crate. We must... Oh, here, what's... Okay, this kind of seems like destroying evidence to me. All right, not sure it's wise, but I guess nobody's really taking much concern for actually... I destroyed it. I should probably get out of the way. Run! Boom! Okay. Now I destroyed the evidence, which, again, arguably not a good move, but that's okay. Man, what happened here? Look at this. Look at these trees. Some, like, boomy action happen over here, too. Even the forests are blasted and destroyed by the vile presence of the... Okay. Well... Okay, so our story here is that these orcs first brewed up a sleeping draft, right? So they made a sleeping potion. Then they got their black fire boom powder and they put it into barrels, which they planted in the town. So they drugged the people first, then they boomed their town, and then they... Well, that's some pretty good scheming. But you know, I have to say that seems to me entirely appropriate. One thing that I think people are inclined to forget, almost as a consequence of the way in which orcs are depicted as being, just sort of total evil, is that they tend to get depicted as if they're stupid, too, which they're not. Orcs, or goblins as they're called. Let's see, boom! Nice. Goblins as they're called in The Hobbit are depicted as being very clever, even being sort of inventors, actually. So that's cool. Hey, so yeah, so it looks like we've got a few people doing this quest at the same time. It's okay. I think we can all find the boom powder on our own. Here's the other cauldron. Okay. Alright, so this was a well-laid plan on the part of these orcs for... Yeah, that's right. You know what you're doing, Warstaw the Unyielding. And you seem able to really take care of yourself quite well, so I'll let you handle those guys. Thank you very much. All right, we've got Sleeping Draft. We've got Black Fire. Didn't I did the Black Fire. Oh, did I not get credit for the Black Fire because that guy did the Black Fire? I did the Black Fire down here, didn't I? Huh, yeah. Okay. I think I did this one, though. Let's come back up here and do the fire thing up here. Alright. Are you still there, dude? Are you waiting for them to regen and then killing them again? Okay, where's the... There it is. Okay. Alright. Okay, now I destroyed it again. Saw it blow up last time. That wasn't quite enough. Okay, alright. There we go. I see the Department of Hulbert Security is still hard at work. That's excellent. Okay. Back to Trestlebridge, which is not exactly in this direction, but it kind of is. There's the trestle span. What a lovely view of the trestle span from over here. I like this angle on the trestle span. Yeah. You can see, even though it's made of wood and it looks kind of like a quaint New Hampshire covered bridge, it's still an impressive piece of engineering for them to get that wooden bridge all the way across that big span there. Strong work, people of Trestlebridge. Strong, strong work. Now, let's see. I still haven't talked about Captain Trotter, nor have I even really talked that much about Trestlebridge itself. I mean, I've talked about the bridge, the trestle span, but I haven't so much talked about the town. I do find this town and the idea of the bridge very, very interesting. Might have to save that little discussion for next time. Let's see how far we can get here. Okay, so I found it. Totally found it.
Oh, you startled me.
Yes, it was all destined for you, I think. Or, yeah, maybe they probably weren't going to blow the bridge because they would probably want the bridge, but evil surrounds you. Yep, that's true. It's true. You've never seen orcs dare to come so close or interfere with your lives. Okay, right? All right, yeah, I am in fact wanting to tell Captain Trotter about this. Don't fall asleep, Iggy. Aggie. Just you're doing great. You're doing great. Hey, it's somebody from the Mythgard kinship. Hey, Edinathel. All right. Let's talk to the poor stooped over guy.
What can I do for you?
Yeah, I totally
Can I
proved
speak
it.
with you a
Okay,
moment?
give it to Captain Trotter. Yeah, I was just going. Yeah, you've been sabotaged. You are so in the clear, man. I will... Okay, not save you, but I will exonerate you. Oh, sleepy guard of not your own free will. Captain Trotter, whose name is hilarious. First, let me tell you about the black
can I
fire
do for you?
boom material. Yeah, of course the orcs were behind it. You were all like, who could possibly do it? Yeah, the orcs, yeah, how do they come in? Well, I already also have news about that. How did they sneak the stuff in? Well, their plans ran deep, my friend.
What do you need?
Yes. The orcs brewed this sleeping draft. That's absolutely right. It appears they have taken to using sabotage when their raids have dashed against our defenses at the trestle span. Right. Yeah, I suppose you must free him because he's wrongfully accused. Yeah, sad for any suspicious travelers. Okay. Yeah. All right, I'll go set him free. Hooray! Oh, boy, yeah, stretch your back, man. I bet that feels good. You cannot thank me enough. Hey, was happy to help. You looked super uncomfortable. I do not know if you've ever been thrown in the stocks. I don't know. Have you? But I can tell you it's not a comfortable experience. No, you can't. Those aren't stocks, man. That was the pillory. The stocks are on your feet. So the stocks are when you sit down, you extend your feet in front of you, and they put the chains or the wooden bars around your ankles. When you put your head and your hands through, that's the pillory. Not that I know this. Never mind. Forget I mentioned it. I do think Captain Trotter was ready to hang me. Yeah. Well, you know, I like to help. I have to go back and tell him, okay, I set the guy. All right, fine. Hey, Captain Trotter, I set the guy free that you were going to wrongfully hang. Yeah, so you could say I saved both of you from a terrible fate. But it's just part of a day's work in the process of finding black boomy powder. Okay, I'm glad this Yeah. Just let's sweep this under the rug, shall we? Yeah.
Stay a moment.
I hope this doesn't make it into my performance review. Okay, did I even find the brewer of the foul potion? No. Dire news indeed. Okay, right. Nan Wathrin has probably fallen to the orcs. I'm thinking you're right. Okay, I might make it to Nan Wathrin. I might not. But thanks for that, Captain Trotter. Let's go talk to Aggie. All right, don't I need to talk to Aggie? No? I don't mean to scare you.
Could I have a word with you?
Okay, that's better. This time she said, could I have a word with you? What are you shivering for? You're brave Aggie Digweed. Okay, the question remains how it got in here at all. Well, sleeping potion, gunpowder, black fire, boomy material. We have many travelers here being on the Greenway, and I did hear rumors of an ugly, mean-looking man that came through last night. Okay. I didn't see him myself, but he made a few folks uneasy. He was already ugly when I went to look for him. Folks say it's more than a little orcish. You know, I've heard of something like that. And if I find him and kill him, then you will give me your hat. That sounds like a good deal. So let's find the half-orc who planted the powder. Who is the mastermind behind all of this? So a half-orc involved in this would seem to point the finger at Sharky. Remember, as we've been seeing, there's the northern influence and the southern influence. As we saw way back in the Shire, we have the dangers coming down from the north in the form of the Warg of Budgeford, that random hillman who had that ancestral grudge against that poor hobbit. Remember that? And remember they reconciled, and it was all like we were all friends at the end. That was so cool. Anyhow, so we had them coming down from the north, and we had the brigands coming up from the south, the ones that were in Old Odo's leaf farm. Okay, no, this is where I went before, and I didn't find... some of the people I found were tolerably ugly, but really nothing quite so special as seemed to be suggested. Okay. Oh man, you saw me? A book torn apart? I found map pages? Okay. I can collect map pages if need be, but I'm really just looking for anybody who might have planned the whole... Let's see. Any... how ugly... Let's see, because somebody's... Oh! Lugbus, the half-orc. That must be you. Oh, yeah, I did find you out. Justice is short but swift. And still wearing a straw hat. Hang on. Look, now I can ninjafy myself in mid-battle. But mine was the better? Yours was the better what? Huh. Okay, Lugbus, I got you, and you were ugly after all. So now I'm going to wander back. I don't think I'm going to find all those map pages. I don't know who needs a map of this place. But that's okay. Can't do all the quests. Those of you who know me will know how much discipline this requires. I'm a completionist. I love doing absolutely everything. I hate leaving quests untaken and uncompleted, also known as incomplete. But I'm trying to discipline myself because there's no way I'll ever get anywhere in this stream if we don't stick to the epic quest a little bit more. You can tell on account of how much progress I've made on the epic quest so far tonight. None. But I know where to go for I know where to find the epic quest, even if I am not actually working on it. So I guess that's something. All right. Same statues on this end. Same cone-headed, short-sworded. Oh yeah, but wait, hang on, I meant to look. What is this stuff? I saw this stuff from the other side. What are these things? It's a barricade? They built a barricade down under the bridge? What is it? So, like, orcs don't throw themselves over? Is it like a safety net for suicide watch? Like, too many orcs had been coming in and throwing themselves off into the gorge and committing suicide, so we had to erect a barrier to prevent that kind of thing. You wouldn't think. I mean, unless they're going to put barrels of black fire boomy powder underneath the trestle span and blow it up. But again, why would they do that? I mean, orcs are not stupid. They know that in order to invade the Southland, they need to cross this bridge. Hey, Aggie.
I don't know anything, I'm sure.
I defeated the ugly brute. Totally did. He was really ugly, but he wasn't ugly enough for me. Okay, we have to be less welcoming to travelers now. Well, when they start setting fire and blowing up your town, this does happen. If such a man could come unhindered and wreak such havoc, then we will never be safe. Oh well. Orcs creep ever closer to our gates. Yes, they are dangerous times. Now, tell me about... Oh, no, this is all... That's right, I forgot. These are really low-level quests. But your hat is really attractive. Can I just say, I like your hat. I've always wanted to wear a mitre.
Could I have a word with you?
Travel to the crossroads. Okay. All right, I'll go north along along the Greenway. That's kind of what I was going to do. All right, so okay. No, I don't need to talk to Captain What's-His-Face again. We're good. Okay. All right, fine. All right, Trestlebridge. We solved your mystery. Got to the bottom of this story. Found how clever those orcs are. Yeah, they might be led by a half-orc of superlative ugliness. But yet we can see how clever and devious these orcs are, and notice the use of their terrible use of gunpowder. Notice, by the way, that we see this modeled in the Lord of the Rings. Right, there are two people who use gunpowder in the Lord of the Rings. Both of them wizards. Right, one is Gandalf and the other is Saruman. Gandalf, who uses it for fireworks, and Saruman, who uses it for blowing up the defenses of his enemies, which sort of kind of gives you an interesting little insight into their characters right there, right? Lest you think, by the way, that, well, Gandalf didn't use gunpowder. His fireworks were magical. His fireworks were, of course, magical. But I'm thinking, actually, there's a specific reference that Tolkien makes in... it's actually not in The Lord of the Rings. It's in Farmer Giles of Ham. If you've ever read Farmer Giles of Ham, one of Tolkien's short stories, you may remember that Farmer Giles has a blunderbuss. That is, he has a kind of it's like one of those rifles with a big spouty opening at the end, right? With a flared opening, not the narrow barrel. And he shoots like nails and broken pottery and whatever he can cram into it. He blasts it out the end of his blunderbuss. Specifically in the description, when it's talking about the blunderbuss, it says that he's the only one in the town who owns a blunderbuss, and most of the people only use gunpowder. And that in that region, gunpowder was mostly only used for fireworks. So it's interesting that he actually raises fireworks in that completely separate work as another sort of standard of fun, but it's the fun constructive use of gunpowder contrasted with the destructive use of gunpowder. And again, we see that contrast, potentially anyway, right there in the Lord of the Rings. All right, I think Gryfflet is going to need to stop now, having solved most of the Trestlebridge mysteries. I say most because, of course, the only one I haven't solved is the story of the cone-headed, short-sword alien knight statues. But maybe we'll keep an eye out to see if we see them anywhere else in the North Downs, and see if we can get to the bottom of of that particular mystery. But most of the mysteries here in Trestlebridge we solved. Next time, don't let me forget. Next time to talk more about Captain Trotter's name, which is really fun, and I'll also talk a little bit about Trestlebridge itself and why I really like Trestlebridge as a piece of subcreation on Lotro's part. But anyway, gotta let you go now. But I will see you guys next week. I'm pausing to make sure that's true. Yep, I should be here. So I'll see you guys next week. And we will head on up towards Fornost next week and see why Barlam and Butterbur calls it Dead Men's Dyke. So thanks very much, everybody. Bye now.